Hi everyone, Mr. Clark here and Clark the Bear. Now, it's Wacky Clothes Friday, so of course I have my wacky tie on, my wacky shirt, and Clark has his wacky sunnies on, ready for an awesome day. Now, story time today, we are reading The Adventures of the Wishing Chair. Now, this chapter today is called The Windy Wizard. The wishing chair rose high into the sky, carrying Peter and Chinky. It had stopped raining and it was sunny day, and the wind the chair made rushed through the air and was very quite pleasant. Molly wished Peter was with them. It was much more fun to go on ventures all together. Presently the chair came into a very windy sky. Goodness, how the wind blew! It blew the white clouds its rags. It blew Peter's hair nearly off his own head. It blew the chair's wings so that it could hardly flap them. The windy wizard lives somewhere about here, said Chinky, looking down. Look, do you see that hill over there, golden with buttercups? There's a house there. It's the windy wizard's, I'm sure, because it's rocking about in all directions as if the wind lived inside it. Down flew the wishing chair. It came to rest outside the cottage, which was certainly rocking about in a most alarming manner. Peter and Chinky jumped off and ran to the cottage door. They knocked. Come in, cried a voice. They opened the door and went in. Oh, the wind rushed out at them and nearly blew them off their feet. Good day, said the windy wizard. He was a most peculiar-looking person, for he had long and very long beard and strange hair, and a cloak that swept to the ground. But as the wind blew, his hair and beard and cloak up and down and round and about all the time, it was very difficult to see what he was really like. Good day, said Peter and Chinky, staring at the wizard. He hadn't a very comfortable house to live in, Peter thought, because there were draughts everywhere, round his leg, down his neck, behind his knees. And all the cottage was full of a whispering, sighing sound, as if a wind was talking to itself all the time. Have you come to buy a little wind? Asked the wizard. No, said Chinky. I've come about a boy who made a face when the wind changed, and he can't get right again. So we thought perhaps you could help us. I know that if we could get a little of the wind that blew at the time and puff it into his face, he will be all right again. But how can we get that wind? What a foolish boy, said the windy wizard, his cloak blowing out of him, hiding him completely. What time did that happen? At 3:30 this afternoon, said Peter. I heard the nursery clock strike. It's difficult, very difficult, said the wizard, smoothing down his cloak. You see, the wind blows is gone in a trace. Now let me think for a moment. Who is likely to have kept a little of that wind? What about the birds that were flying in the air in that moment, said Chinky. They may have some in their feathers, you know. Yes, they may so, said the wizard. He took a feather from a jar that was full of them and flung it out the door. Come, birds, come, and bring the breeze with your wind, he chanted. Peter and Chinky looked out of the door, hoping that dozens of birds would come, but only one appeared, and that was a blackbird. Only one bird was flying in the air with the wind at that very moment, said the wizard. Come, blackbird, shake your feathers. I want that wind from you. And then there's, kids, a picture of the windy wizard and Peter and Chinky trying to get that wind to save the poor silly boy who made that funny face. The blackbird shook his glossy feathers out, and Wizard held a green paper bag under them to catch the wind in both of them. The bag blew up a little, like a balloon. Not enough wind here to change your friend's face back again, said the wizard, looking at it. I wonder if there were any kites using the wind at that moment. He went to a cupboard and took the tail of a kite out of it. He threw it up into the air just outside the door. Come, kites, and bring the breeze with your wind, he called. Peter and Chinky watched eagerly, and to their delight saw the two kites sailing down from the sky. One was a green one, and one was a red one. They fell at the wizard's feet. He shook each one to get the wind into his green bag. It blew up just a little more. Still not enough, said the wizard. I'll get the little ships along. There will sure enough be enough of them. He ran to the mantelpiece and shook a tiny sailor doll from it. He threw it up into the air and it disappeared. Come, ships, and bring the breeze from your wind, sang the old wizard, his hair and beard streaming out like smoke. Then, sailing up a tinkling stream that ran down the hillside, came 6 little toy sailing ships, their sails full of wind. They sailed right up to the wizard's front door from the stream, suddenly seeming to run there, and, quickly and nearly, the old wizard seized each little ship, shook its sails into the green paper bag, and then popped it back on the stream. Away sailed the ships again, and Peter and Chinky saw them no more. The paper bag was quite fat and full now. That's about enough, I think, said the wizard. Now I'll put the wind into a pair of bellows for you. He took a small pair of bellows from the fireside and put the tip of them into the green paper bag. He opened the bellows and they sucked in all the air from the bag. The wizard handed them to Peter and Chinky. Now, don't puff with these bellows until you reach your friend, he said. Then use them hard and puff all the air into his face. It will come right away in a twink. Thank you so much for your help, said Chinky gratefully. He and Peter ran to the wishing chair again and climbed straight back into it, holding the bellows carefully. The chair rose up into the air as Chinky cried, "Home, chair, home!" In a few minutes it was flying in the box room window, for Molly had run up and opened it, ready for the chair when it came back again. Peter and Chinky shut the window after them, ran down to the nursery and burst in at the door. Thomas was still there, his face screwed up and his cheeks blown up. "I'm so glad you're back," said Molly. "It's horrid being here with poor Thomas. His face is so nasty to look at, it makes me feel like I'm in a dream. Have you got something to make it right?" "Yes," said Chinky, showing her the bellows. "The windy wizard has filled these bellows full of wind that blew them. Thomas made that face. If we puff it at him, his face will be all right again." There's another picture of the windy wizard filling up those bellows with the exact same wind that Thomas's face changed to. "Go on then, puff," said Molly. So Chinky lifted up the bellows and puffed them right into Thomas's face. Thomas gasped and spluttered. He shut his eyes and coughed, and when he opened them, his face had gone right again. His nose and forehead were no longer screwed up, and his cheeks were quite flat, not a bit blown up at all. "You're right again now, Thomas," said Chinky, "but let it be a lesson to you not to be silly any more." "I'll never pull faces again," said Thomas, who had really had a dreadful fright. "But who are you? Are you a fairy?" "Never mind who I am, and don't say a word about me or what has happened this afternoon," said Chinky, and Thomas promised. He ran home feeling very puzzled, but very happy to think that he had got his face all right into shape again. "Well, that was an exciting sort of venture, Molly," said Peter, and he told her about it. "The windy wizard was so nice, I say. What about giving him back his bellows?" "I'll manage that," said Chinky, taking them. "I must go now, or someone will come into the nursery and see me. Goodbye till next time." And that is the end of our chapter. So, Peter and Chinky both helped Thomas's face, and it's back to normal again, which is fantastic. Now, as it's Friday, there won't be any wishing chair tomorrow, but Mr. Clark and Clark the Bear will be back on Monday for another chapter of this fantastic book, The Adventures of the Wishing Chair. Have a good weekend, everyone, and we will see you on Monday.